Behold, Nightmare Pug Studios. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you guys are already well aware that I have created something known as Nightmare Pug, or if you guys have seen my Steam page, or rather I suppose on the game pages, you'll probably notice the publisher being Nightmare Pug. Well guys, it's just me, do not worry, it's me and only me, TheOdie. It's just that when it comes to creating games, I like to make both commercial games and kind of just fun little projects. So I decided it's probably good to try and separate it. This way anyone who's looking for whether it's commercial games or just experimental fun projects where you can download the project yourself and investigate, I gotta find that divide. So Nightmare Pug is designed for just that. Anything that's commercially made, which is Caster's Trap, Captive, You Are My Idol, it is on Nightmare Pug. But any of the fun little experimental ones I've made in the past, such as Whisper in the Woods, Phasmophobia RPG Maker, Love Thrown at the 6ix9ine Motel, and very recently the sequel to that and Captive, DH Files Idol Streamer, that's also on TheOdie. So the main divide here is that anything on Nightmare Pug will both be on Steam and itch.io, however anything under TheOdie will just be on itch.io. Now there is one exception for that, and that is Caster's Trap, because that is my first made game and that was before I thought of the whole Nightmare Pug idea. But pretty much any of these projects, DH Files, Whisper in the Woods, Skipping Caster's Trap, The Haunting, Project Phasmo RPG, and Love Throne, you can actually go into these games. I'll show you with DH Files, and if you choose to donate and then download now, you'll actually get the game file, the game project file, where you can go into RPG Maker and look at how I develop things. Now of course there is that asterisk, which is some of the plugins being removed, and that's because they are paid product that I paid for, and I don't want to pirate and redistribute them in any sort of way. But of course it does come with the explanation on how to do all those sort of things if you decide to acquire the project and try to run it yourself. But with all that said, I do got one fun thing to show you, and it is the reopening of my website. So before, you're probably familiar with it being theodie.wixsite.com/rmtoot, toot standing for tutorials, but now it is theodie.wixsite.com/rmhorror, and it's kind of to reflect what I do now. So I mostly make horror games, but of course the tutorial still exists, and I will talk about that in a little bit. But I do want to show you guys some of the pages and features. So if you go on horror games, you'll see all the things under Nightmare Pug, and it also gives a brief description of what I mentioned before. But if you go to experimental projects, then it also shows you my experimental projects and also what I mentioned before, about these being files that you can download through donation perks. And then of course there's my Steam page and itch.io page. But for the tutorials, I did clean this up a whole lot, and I decided to remove the, well, I didn't fully remove the intermediate and expert, but they do still exist. As you can tell, the I is intermediate and E is expert, but I decided to just list it down all in one page so it's easier for your eyes to see and know everything I created and what you guys would want. And it's also in alphabetical order after the beginner series, because the beginner series, if you're starting this for the first time, then you should definitely be going into that before any of the other tutorials. And this is the same as what we've seen in the past, but now everything else kind of just links you directly to the websites, I mean the YouTube videos. There are a couple of exceptions, such as anything that has series attached to it. It'll link you to a different web page that does explain it a little bit more, such as with line of sight. And I will be redoing just a few of the tutorials. I find that now that I am older and more experienced, there are some things that I disagree with, most specifically with Aoni and the chase sequences and the timer. But for the most part, I rewatched them and I was like, huh, this is actually pretty good. Good job, Pass Me. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to announce those sort of things, and I guess that's what's coming next. Just rework on a couple of tutorials, and then I'll be on my way to the next project. And I guess as a teaser for you guys who were kind enough to sit in and watch this video, I am going to be working on art. There's going to be a journey for that, and that is after all the tutorial series that I'm going to recreate and rework on. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. You can check out this website down in my descriptions or in the comment section, and other than that, have a fantastic day. Later.